We're a dynamic duo of local entrepreneurs who don't just work hard, but know how to have a good time too. Along our journey, we've crossed paths with some incredibly cool individuals who've crafted some seriously impressive brand-worthy businesses.
You might recognize their business, but are you ready to get up close and personal with the real architects of their success? Today, we're throwing it into high gear as we sit down with one of these trailblazers. So no more suspense. Let's introduce our guest in the studio today.
So without further ado, Love Local Chicagoland is proud to present Brandworthy with your host, Mike and Aaron.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brandworthy Season 2, Episode 2. Very excited to have my co-host Aaron here.
Very excited to be here. Looking forward to talking with Christine today from Restoration 1. Welcome. We are very excited to talk with her a little bit about her background, how she got into restoration, became an investor. She enjoyed it so much. So,
yep, absolutely. And Christine is great at what she does, but also just a vibrant personality. So this conversation is going to be, I think, really smooth, and we're going to touch on a lot of different things. It should be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So, Christine, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming. And I know we've done some stuff in the past. We know each other. We all know each other pretty well, but I'm excited to explore a little more of the background of what Restoration 1 does in your journey. So,
and I'm excited to share.
Absolutely. So this season on Brandworthy, we always have a toast of the week, and we're very excited about our Church Street swag, but also we've got some Church Street brew in front of us, and we always like to highlight kind of what their specials are coming out. And Golden Elf is their American Golden Lager. It's absolutely delicious. It's smooth. It's only 4.8% alcohol. So if you're looking for something out there that's a little bit smoother and easy to take down, please have Golden Elf from Church Street. Yeah. So I'm going to crack mine open, actually.
Cheers.
I can put it right in the mic. Oh, look at that. Nothing like having a little bit of a brew.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome.
Cheers. All right. So our congregation would love to hear about Christine and who you were growing up, where you're from, and kind of your background. So we'll start there.
Grew up in Mount Prospect, born and raised there, went to Prospect High School. Was a great neighborhood back in the old Ranhurst days.
Ranhurst was a lot of fun back in the day.
It was.
Food court, I remember.
I remember before the food court was even there, but the best fries were boardwalk fries.
Oh,
with the cheese. Down. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's even a thing anymore.
It's not. It's sad. It should come back. Maybe that's a new investment idea.
R.I.P. boardwalk fries and Ranhurst food court too.
Yes,
so, definitely. All right, so Mount Prospect. That's where you went to school.
Yes.
And then from there, kind of, where'd you go and what did you do?
Well, I started actually working. My aunt and uncle owned PJ's Trick Shop. So I originally started working at PJ's Trick Shop from a young age, helping family out. My responsibilities were mostly custom hats and T-shirts, but we had a variety of different practical jokes, magic, and other things that were in the store. But I pretty much worked there until I started modeling and waitressing.
Okay, so if everyone doesn't know PJ's, it's pretty well known in the area as a magic shop. So when you were growing up, you must have seen crazy magicians come through, learn some tricks. Are you good at any of those things?
I can do them. I'd rather not. Magicians are
we have a deck of cards right here.
Magicians are a definite special breed. So either you have to get to their analytic mindset and understand them and have a conversation with them, or you just walk away. I'm more of the just walk away. I'm going to watch you. I know what you're doing. But yeah.
They had that business for a long time.
Yeah, they actually just closed down about 2-3 years ago. I've known it since I've been just a little kid. So it's sad to see it go, but you know what? It was a great legacy, a lot of good memories. I mean, whenever I bring it up to anybody, they remember it. People from all over, because really it was one of the only magic stores in this northern, Illinois area. Yeah. And it just brought so many people joy, happiness, and good memories. And they did a whole Halloween, like time and costume. So it was great.
It's a great first job.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's back up a second. You said modeling, you kind of dropped that and then walked away from it. So,
yes.
You breezed over that as fast
I
as
breezed over that. It's part of my life. I'd like to forget sometimes. People think modeling is such a great thing. People love you, adore you. It really is a hard job. You're never thin enough. You're never pretty enough. They will literally, plastic wrap for your food. They will wrap your body, put a $1 million dress on you, stiletto heels, and tell you to walk down the runway, but you rip it, you buy it.
Jeez.
It was hardcore. It was, you're constantly scared. You're constantly you have horrible self-confidence.
I could see that.
But then you had to go when you're modeling for the bigger ones like Versace and stuff like that. You still had to go out afterwards and go to clubs, and you were to flirt with people, but not too much, but leave at 9:00, not drink anything. There were so many rules that were in place. It was a constant, I would never recommend it to somebody that doesn't have an arrogant attitude.
Yeah, or is like very thick-skinned, right?
Exactly.
I mean, like if you could take that, it's just got to be constant criticism.
It is.
Either you're too pretty, you're too blonde, you're not blonde enough, you're this, you're too tall, you're too short. It's everything.
And
every time you go to audition,
they change things. So I walked in and I had long blonde hair down to my waist. Well, one line didn't want anything noticed but their dress. So I ended up having to cut all my hair off to 1 inch on my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long did you do that for?
About 4 years.
And it just kind of took its toll and moved on to something different.
It took its toll. And at that time, it was like I was ready to grow up in life.
Yeah. But I mean, it's probably a fun young 20s job, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, like if you have the skin for it, then absolutely, yes.
Shine probably wears off after a little
bit. It does. It does. How hardcore you want to be. Like I did also catalogs, So I enjoyed the catalogs more. It's more of a photo shoot. You play some music. You are having fun. But when you're doing runway, it is a whole different ball of wax. It really is all what you want to do.
Wow. All right. So after that, then what? What was next?
Finance, actually. So I went into finance.
It's a good progression. Magic tricks to modeling to finance. It seems like a natural progression.
It totally is. But
I got there.
It was.
I didn't notice there was wrapped in saran wrap before the show, but I didn't know why.
You want to ask questions?
Yeah, now I get it.
Actually, So I started off like after all that, I'm like, I just needed to go a different way, and I really wanted to find a career, not just like jobs and stuff like that. So, one of my friends worked at a mortgage company, and I started out in the collections department. Honestly. Started off in collections. Within a couple months, I was promoted to customer service. Within a couple months, I was promoted to senior commercial loan specialist. And I did that and I loved it.
I could see you being really good at that, though. Like you're very personable. The second people meet you, it's just like instant connection.
And the numbers were easy for me. And that was during ELOCs and all of these wonderful loans, the balloon loans. And so it was right like 2006-07 was when I'm starting, and 2008 happened. And now I dealt with all the banks that were like Mellon and Astoria, the ones out in New York with all of this LSA accounts and all of these different things that were going on. Mm-hmm. Well, now I've given these loans away. And what does Christine do? Because I'm like to follow the money. I opened up a bankruptcy and repossession department. Lord giveth the loan, the Lord giveth away. And I did that for like about a year, and I didn't feel good about myself.
That side seems much. You got to have very thick skin to be on that side.
So that's when I have to take a break from this. Stayed home with my kids for a little bit because I have 4 children and daycare is expensive. At the time when I was married, my ex was able to be at home with the kids a little bit, and it wasn't a worry. But now I was at the situation where like, no, I'm going to spend some time with my children, and that lasted very shortly because I'm a worker.
Yeah.
I need to keep occupied. My mind's got to keep going. So I went back to banking at my local bank and realized that like, I want to kind of be something different. So working at the bank, I went to marketing school. I was an executive assistant to the president of the bank, and I was going through school and studied marketing.
What drew you to marketing?
I'm a very social person, but I like to benefit other people. But I'm also big on the branding. Like, how are you branding things? And that's when I discovered at that bank, we were launching a whole new shareholders thing. How are they branding this event? How are we getting people's attention? What kind of fit are we looking for? And that's kind of what all drew me into it. Yeah. And then once I finished that degree, I was like, okay, so I'm going to put my, resume up there and put it on Indeed. And first job I applied for, I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was a great fit. I was in the automotive business. Now, how I've gone through
Just trying to connect the dots
Yeah.
here.
So if we were
Okay,
doing a
what is
map
this?
here, this would be.
it's crazy, but
Were you mechanical at all? Did you understand automotive, or is just like, hey, I'm
the only
gonna take a different
automotive
route?
I knew is my first car was a Ford Escort. That thing was a jalopy, and I knew how to drive it and fix on the side of the road if I had to. If it was overheating, you keep going, you turn up the heat, and roll down the windows. Just keep going.
For sure.
You'll be fine. So having an older car, whatever. But this was, I actually was a tool manufacturing company for like the auto body, like aftermarket.
Yeah.
So rusted bolts, removing glass from cars, doing all these different applications without using a flame. It was induction heating.
Okay.
Such a great product. They had so many wonderful things that I would travel a lot. I'd be in different states all the time. SEMA, stuff for Mac Tools, Snap-on, Cornwell.
And was this heat induction thing like new at the time? So it was like a new way of using?
There was a patent on it. So he was the only one that was able to do it. I mean, this man is a genius.
Yeah.
Great company to work for. Still talk to them. We actually still have our family that we still talk to each other. But just a great company. But traveling gets hard.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't a good fit
Especially
anymore.
with 4 kids. You know what I mean? You want to be around for their
And
activities.
at that time I was, newly divorced, and I'm trying to figure out between, my church family and my friends and stuff like that with the children. So it just wasn't a good fit anymore. Took a lot from it though. I mean, that was my more interaction with B2B.
Yeah.
And it just was a great time in my life. I got to travel, got to really learn how to sell. So great part of my life.
So you were happy with the decision to get into marketing.
Yes.
At that time, selling that, then the automotive industry was good for you to go through the sales evolution.
Absolutely.
So now you've got all these skills ready to go.
Yes.
And now you're ready to apply them to something different.
Absolutely.
So what was that transition from the automotive sales type to what you're doing with like exterior work?
Yeah. So that was actually, I updated my resume on Indeed again.
Yeah.
Didn't even send it out. I just kind of put it up there like, okay, it's done out. When I'm ready. And somebody viewed it and called me. Went in for the interview, got hired right away.
This is crazy.
It was crazy. And it was close to home. And I was like, okay, now I need to, if I'm hire something, I'm going to do a lot of research.
Yeah.
I'm going to know my stuff and I'm going to take pride in it. So they were they were the start of the public adjusting for the exterior and stuff like that. They were not more like storm chasers. They were more of people who, if someone didn't have the time or didn't know how to handle a claim, they would come in and step in.
So it was dealing with if you had hail damage or something around damage and you needed to navigate that insurance process, they were helping you do that.
Absolutely. Okay. But they were kind of the cutting edge of that, but they went about it the right way. But being able to market it that way and push that business, we really grew when I came in, because it was all about learning how to do the networking groups. I never did the networking groups. I never went through the chambers. I was strictly working with Snap-on and, tool guys.
Yeah.
I actually learned to network with different local chambers and different groups and meeting with one-on-ones. I never knew any of this.
So how did that kind of help build your business or get you interested in doing a little bit more than just doing adjusting?
Well, I was hired for the marketing aspect. So I had I knew with the talk, I knew what was going on because I took immense pride in knowing the whole process. But being able to explain to people the process and what was right and what was wrong, I was actually able to build partnerships with the insurance agents because they knew that their clients were being taken care of in the right way.
Which is important. Yeah, I would say from knowing you for a few years, integrity has always kind of been, you're high energy, but you have such great integrity in what you do. And it seems like that's showing. Yeah, even when you were in the banking business, you're okay, well, I'm on the collection side. I don't like that. So I'm going to switch to.
Yes.
And I think that's a great trait for anyone to have. And
morals are very, very important to me. And if something doesn't sit right with me, I'm not going to continue to do it.
Well, I think it speaks to authenticity,
Mm-hmm.
right? when you're authentic and you're actually genuine in what you're trying to do and accomplish, that rings through to people. And I mean, that's what I get from you when we talk. So,
and that's the transition from exterior to what I'm doing now. I mean, the perfect transition is there's so much more that happens when on the insurance side, as far as like fires, tornadoes, floods. I mean, winter is a big flood month between burst pipes and sprinkler systems. We've been, it's been a mess lately. But we also do like unattended death or trauma cleanups.
Yeah.
There's a compassion that has to go with that. People don't know what you're feeling, but they have to be a resource. So how can I be a resource to someone that is having their worst day? I have an emergency vet on staff that will take any animal from a hamster to a horse 24/7. I have counselors that are on staff that will talk to anybody that is going through a hard time. I have hotel rooms available at any time. Temporary living, like not anybody.
Yeah, you talked a little about. I mean, I never realized that. Yeah, well, you have a fire, and then you're out of your house, and I didn't realize the temporary living piece. Like, I don't know. I remember I've had a few catastrophic things happen at properties. Luckily, I had my home, and I have a second property. But like, it's very hard to navigate through a bunch of people who know what needs to happen, and you have no idea. And you have no idea what the price is. You have no idea what's covered, what's not yet. Exactly. So to have that integrity and to really walk through it with them, that builds such a rapport that eases people right away.
Well, and the number one thing we always do, because sometimes we're called up from the fire departments because we're on a call out vendor list and for a board up. But, whether it be water or fire, don't file the claim yet. Let people look at your policy because are you insured? Number one, are you not insured? My biggest always take back from every conversation I have is a home inventory. Yeah. People walk around with their phones daily on them all the time. Take an hour and a half, walk through your whole entire house, open up every cabinet, every closet, every drawer, explain everything that's in your house. Because God forbid you have a fire or there's a tornado or something that happens. Are you going to know how many shirts you have? What year you bought your TV or the serial number? No, you don't.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm the one that has to go through it. And my contents team has to go through it when it's burnt up or destroyed. If you could have that at clouded or your insurance agent can have that, it is going to be so much easier for your insurance person to adjuster to be like, okay, this is legit. It's being paid out instead of doing a whole backlog and trying to think of these things. I mean, I can't encourage people to do it enough, and I will preach it every day. And I'm going to come back to you guys in a month and I'm going to ask you if you have one. And you're probably going to say no.
How do you know?
And that's a really excellent point because a lot of times people just think, oh, the insurance company is going to take care of it. Well, there are some good insurance companies out there that'll just pay policy limits. And there are ones that are going to ask for the serial number on your, 87 tube, like trying to figure out, I'm going to give you $6 for that, right? Like,
and we all know insurance is getting really, really tight now. So you have to watch your policies because there's a lot of amendments that are going out. There's a lot of exclusions. Your deductibles are now percentages. What are you capped at? Like sewer water is an extra added. There's now roof schedules and all these things are changing. You have to trust your agent and you have to really look at your policy and understand it. And that's like a legal document.
Yeah. And so they're going to hold you to it. And you don't find that out until you need it. You just keep paying for insurance. You're like, it's covered. It's covered. It's covered. Yeah. So I think that's stressful.
We deal with that a lot on it. So we do all of our in-house content cleaning. So you have a disaster. All of your belongings are coming back to our facility for us to clean and store.
Yep.
A lot of people, they don't understand that not all that is covered if they don't have the proper coverage. So
all your background to get you to where you're at Restoration One, you feel like all those experiences were valuable and added, and you're using those skill sets still today?
Absolutely. Every situation in life, you have to take something back from the good, the bad. Those are the things that teach you things in life.
Yeah. If you could go back and tell your 16-year-old, Christine, that this journey will get you to where you're going to be today, would you change anything along that journey?
Don't start smoking.
That's a great one.
Only advice I'd give myself. I'm actually going to go to a hypnotist next week.
To try to get rid of it?
Yes.
I've heard that there's some success.
I'm hoping so, because that's like my goal this year was like, that was my number one goal. So I made my appointment, like I'm doing it.
And it was probably like cool in high school. So you picked it up kind of thing.
It was a hard time in my life. We had a lot of different things going on, and my older sister did it. And I just wanted to be Jenny so bad.
Yeah.
And that's just how it starts, Jenny.
Thanks a lot, Jenny. This is probably a good segue into a thing that we have on season 2 for Brandworthy, and that's the Brandworthy Bowl.
That's right. Questions from the congregation. If you're a Church Street fan, part of the congregation. So we've got some questions in here. Christine, if you wouldn't mind.
Our lovely little bowl here.
Pick one out.
Christine will pick a random question, and we'll talk about it.
No idea what we're gonna talk about now.
She won't even look at it.
I won't even look at it. Just scared.
Describe a bucket list item that is so bizarre people would never guess it's on your list. Ooh. A bucket list item that is so bizarre people would never guess it's on your list. I guess maybe bizarre would be in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Maybe something that requires explanation.
Yeah, that could work too. But I mean, think about it. Everyone's got a bucket list. I mean, bucket lists are popular. Made a movie about it.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing that people would be uncharacteristic of you to have on your list? So
that's a great question.
I gotta think of mine.
I don't know. My bucket list thing is I need to go to Bondi Beach in Australia. Just it's my beach. It's my name. I should go.
My God, that would be so much fun.
How did you find out that was a beach? Just random, like searching your name and it came up?
No, I mean it's like it'd be like saying, I'm gonna go to Malibu. I mean it's the biggest beach in Australia, so I mean it's a big deal, and
First of all, I hear the spiders are like big as a softball.
Oh, we got big spiders here.
We don't have big spiders.
I'm talking you out of your bucket list item. I'm trying to get
not with spiders. That's not gonna.
I've always wanted to crash a wedding.
Oh.
I have crashed a wedding.
I've always wanted to just go there. Like nobody, like they're all like, I've always wanted to do that. I don't know why.
I did that like 24 years old, and there was a wedding at a place we were at, and our thing ended. So we just went in. We got about 45 minutes in. We had like 2 or 3 drinks. We danced, and then they obviously realized that we were not.
Okay.
They kicked us out.
What'd they say to you though? Like, so I need to know this.
It was someone's like dad, maybe the bride's dad or someone's dad came up and was like, "Who are you guys?" And we're like, "Hey, I'm Mike," and it was my friend's like, "Hey, I'm Jeff," whatever. And they're like, "No." Like
you were Uncle Jim's kid.
Yeah, we didn't even go that far.
Gosh.
We stood up
from Sally's side of the family.
But like Wedding Crashers wasn't out yet. We would have been more skilled, I think.
Okay.
If we did, but we just literally they're like, "No, you're not supposed to be here. Get out of here." We're like, "Oh, okay," and then we just chugged our drink and walked out.
I don't know why. I think it would be fun.
So
it sounds like you stayed for dinner. I mean.
No, yeah, we didn't sit down. We were at the drinks and dinner part.
Steak?
It's open bar anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't cost them anything. And I tipped well. So
exactly.
Yeah. I never danced with the bride or groom. That's so
that would have been epic. That's what I want to do.
Awesome. They were like, "Who the hell are you?" All right. So my bucket list item that's bizarre. So I do have I love to like prep food, which sounds weird, but I love like knife skills. And so I'm always telling whenever we have to cook, I'm always doing all the cutting and stuff. I just love it. And I want to take like a knife skills class.
That would be cool.
To be like super.
Father's Day coming up, man.
I know. Like that would be something I would love to do.
I love that. I'm a big meal prep person too.
I like to cook. I don't cook a lot, but when I cook, it's like I follow the recipe. I'm a recipe follower.
Oh, I'm not.
See, and my wife is not, and this is gonna lead to divorce for sure because I'm like, "Did you measure that?" She's like, "No, you just throw it in there, season it."
You measure it with love.
Yeah. So when I cook, she is not allowed near.
Okay.
If it says stir for 30 seconds, I'm stirring for 30 seconds.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
Like that bad.
So growing up,
it's bad.
My grandparents were all passed on. So we had this couple on the corner. We always called Grandma and Grandpa. They were like our adopted, but they were Italian caterers. So we would go in there. They taught us how to make the gravy. We cased our own sausages. We made our own.
The fact you call it gravy, I have much respect for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how I grew up. And it was like my grandfather, I call my grandfather, he would say, "You eat a clove of garlic a day, you're going to live to your 100. He died the day before his 100th birthday.
That's amazing.
And of course, I'm an asshole. I leaned over the coffin. I'm like, you forgot a clove.
You forgot one. You forgot.
No, but I mean, but
Way to
great
go.
people, like they were such like, they would teach us things. They'd have spaghetti parties for the whole neighborhood
Yeah.
once a year. Such great people. It was amazing.
My grandma used to cook a lot, and all of her recipes were handed down to my mother, and my mother rewrote them. And then we tried to make some of the stuff, and it's like a handful of this. It's like, well, what's my handful? Your handful? It's like just to a bunch of this. What's
Yeah.
a bunch?
Yeah.
So I am a very scientific
Okay.
cooker.
Yeah, we had we put together a cookbook after my grandmother passed away, and one of the recipes was missing. We're like, where's the chocolate chip cookie?
Mhm.
Like, oh, that's on the back of the Toll House bag. That's
Oh my
that's
gosh,
what
that's
she did.
so
Like,
funny.
and we tried to make it. No, it's not. There's something missing.
Here's a
right?
good, here's
There's a
something good
handful
for
of
you
something.
guys.
Yeah, see, and you don't know what that is.
Right.
So here's something good for you guys since you have young children. They don't like to eat vegetables a lot, right? So when zucchini season happens, shred your zucchini and put them in your chocolate chip cookies. They cannot taste them, but they're getting something healthy.
There you
And
go.
it makes them
I like
very
that.
moist.
We do that for noodles. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually
Do
a good idea.
zucchini bread. Too.
Yeah, I love zucchini.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law makes beef stroganoff, and it's amazing, but it's a different kind of beef stroganoff, whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like a family thing. For 40 years, we've been talking about it. And we finally got her to admit that she just got it on like a newspaper. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
She
God.
just got it out of a newspaper. She's like, but
Right? What's the secret?
Yeah.
Uncle Ben's rice.
Yeah. Exactly.
For sure. All right. So this was actually a good round
Yeah.
of questions,
Yeah,
I
that's good.
thought.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. So now we got to transition into Restoration One. So how did you land? First of all, what is Restoration One?
So Restoration One is a restoration company doing we are franchise. So we're located all over the United States. Our headquarters is in Texas. We are owned by Stellar Brands, which is an amazing company. There's a lot of growth that's happening. We're really excited about this upcoming year of all the different things that are happening in our Restoration One family. There's extreme amount of growth. I know our franchise alone is going through a lot of growth, and we're excited about it. We've been around. So Carrie and Joe started Restoration One 6.5 years ago. On I believe their anniversary date is June 12th.
Okay.
Of 2017. I was working at the other company. They just had started this. They were out of their house, and they hired a business development manager who was going in and he was collecting business cards, like a baseball cards. Basically, he walked to my office and he was like, can I talk to whoever's in charge of sales and marketing? I walked out. I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, this is who I am. He throws me his card and says, all right, I'll talk to you soon. Walks out. I'm like, whoa, what are you even doing? I'm like, stop, turn around, come back. And I go, I'm going to help you out, kid. Come bring your owner back with you on this date. We're going to have a meeting. So they came back and a week later.
So very few people would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would be like, get out of my office.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that you're like, wait a second, you're not marketing this right. Get back here.
Exactly. So they came back and I said, okay, this is great. Tell me about you, whatever. So I said, I want you to do this, this, and this. Come back and see me in a week and I want to see how you did. Needless to say, that new guy, the marketing business development manager, was no longer around. So I just had Joe come back and he did everything, whatever. And I said, okay, I'm going to put you in front of this person, this person, this person. Was doing everything the right way, building the relationships, doing everything the right way. And then we just kind of connected. Joe has such a vibrant personality. If you met him, you're going to remember him forever.
Yeah.
He just has one of those like gripping personalities where you just want to know more. He's got a vast education in the insurance. He came from the insurance industry. He did high risk claim, like insurance policies. So just met them, started like bringing them around my people because I had a large network at the time, just like, let's grow you.
And you were saying networking was becoming part of your
It really,
DNA
really
at that point,
was. And so I was able to get him into my area, but I liked the way that him and his wife vibes. I liked their morals. And I wanted to expand and grow myself. And going from this to being more was exactly what I was looking for. And they were exactly what I was looking for.
And like new business, if you have the right morals and vision
Yes.
and you have the right work ethic, it seems like it'd be amazing to jump on at the beginning and help launch it where it needed to be. So that must have been intriguing.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like, learning new things. We all learned it together. I mean, it was when we started, it was just Carrie, Joe, myself, and we had a part-time technician. So guess what? I was the one cutting drywall. I was the one sucking out the water. Like, we did this together.
Yeah. We
were out of the garage, and then we just started like getting new people and building. Cause I, told them, I'm like, if I'm coming aboard, you got to get ready for the work. Like, this is, we're going to expand. And we did, we grew together. We hired more people. Then we got a new facility, and, it was smaller. We got more trucks, we got more people, but everyone had to align with everything that we were doing. And then we are starting to grow a little bit more, and I wanted more territory. We wanted more things. So I invested in the company.
So you felt so strong.
I felt so strong about them as owners, the company that we were doing, the people that we were onboarding, that I'm like, no, I want to financially invest in this company. I want to invest in them. For people to have that impact on you, that you trust them so much and that you love what you guys are doing, that was my hitting point of like, I need to do this. And It was exciting. And now we're just, we're moving along, growing again.
So you said 6 years ago? That's when
5.5. Well, they've been in business 6.5 years. I've been with them 5.5.
Okay. So what's that growth then been like over the last 6 years? How many did you start off with? How many people do you have now?
We started off with the three of us in a part-time, and now we have, because we just hired, we're hiring right now. So, I might get the number wrong, but I think we're 20 some right now.
Wow.
Because I have to look at our roster right now because we're like literally still like.
Yeah, but it's so, to me, it feels like the compassion that he has through the process, the passion that you have,
yes,
and the integrity that you guys bring to it is probably why you're on this growth.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, and then Carrie, she does a lot of the talking with the customers and the adjusters. She is so smart, and she will literally hold your hand through like a customer through, like she'll cry with them. She'll sit down with them. She'll explain things to them. There's just a whole different, like I'm friends with everybody in my industry. Every restoration company I have a relationship with, because guess what? When stuff comes down and I can't handle them, I need somebody to handle this person. So we talk on a daily basis, like not daily, but like very often. But no one quite has that personal compassion touch that we will take a call at 2:00 in the morning for.
Yeah.
And just because they need to talk.
I think most of like in the industry from the outside looking in, it's most companies is very transactional. Like, you have an issue, we're going to come in, this is what we do. And they don't take the time to really explain it and because from our end, this is once or twice a lifetime event.
Yes.
For you, it's once or twice a day event.
Yes,
exactly. And so I think that to walk someone through that probably is a differentiator.
It really is.
I could see that being really.
And then the resources that we have. And I've worked in this industry so long that I compile a list and I update it weekly, bi-weekly, because when stuff gets really busy, your plumber's going to be busy. No, call me. I have like 3-5 plumbers I can call you that can get you right away. HVAC guys, general contractors, electricians. I keep those updated so that I can be a resource that you can call me and be like, my hot water heater just went out. My guy's busy. Who do you know that can get out to me?
Yeah. And that has nothing to do with the restoration piece. So
you've met those people through networking. Where are you networking? Where are you finding those opportunities to find people specifically?
So I'm on the board of directors for the McHenry Area Chamber of Commerce. So a lot out in the McHenry area. I've been on the board a couple of years, just kind of stepped down to like a host thing for Women's Council of Realty. So that's not just women, it's just an old name, but it's where like real estate get education. They work together. Also with Heartland Association, that's where real estates get their CE credits to keep their licensing. I'm with Focus Group out in Schaumburg. With
SBA,
SBA, and then I'm also with Always Be Connecting mastermind groups. I'm very community involvement. There's a lot of like community. I do a lot of community service. So I actually own a nonprofit for military. And I'm actually going to go on an honor flight and be, with the veterans this year.
That's awesome.
Really excited about that.
What drove you to start that?
Okay. So there was actually networking. So I was meeting with a new real estate agent that came into the chamber. And she was doing real estate. She was a great, vibrant, got along with her great. It was right before Christmas. And then at the end of the conversation, she looked a little down. And I'm like, honey, her name is Barb. And I'm like, Barb, what's bothering? She goes, this is my first Christmas without my son. He got deployed.
Yeah.
And I said, talk to me about it. Now, my family had all been Air Force, military, Army, whatever. Let's talk about this. And she's like, it's sad. He's not getting anything for Christmas. And I'm like, no, he's going to. I go, trust me, we're going to do something about this. I have a large network, just watch. So we ended up, I put something out there to my network about let's bring Christmas to the military. Yeah. But I didn't want to just concentrate on him. I wanted to concentrate on his platoon. 44 packages we were able to send overseas to his platoon, which then started me oh my gosh, we could do so much more. That's just her son.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing was compiling a list from the recruiting agencies and all the different areas of, hey, my son is in the military or deployed here. We would package up 5 packages and send it to them. But then he had to send give a package to 5 people that didn't get a letter or a package ever.
Okay. So trying to reach out to the people that aren't getting
exactly,
stuff. Forward a little bit,
but not just sending Kleenex and the stuff sending footballs or cigars or Maximum magazines. Come on, things that they really wanted.
Yeah,
we were the fun ones. So we did that for a few years. We got up to 488 packages that we were sending out. However, we're going to be we decided to dissolve into more of the Great Lakes, stuff like that, because it does cost a lot of money to run a nonprofit. People don't realize the back end and the government and all the different things that's where the process of dissolving and going into everything. But I mean, my board of ladies, I got Sheila, Barb, and Kathy. They're all military moms. Just really, really good people. But Thanksgiving, I mean, the naval base sent out, I had 120 soldiers that we, served, but they didn't talk to their families since they'd been through boot camp. So we got to literally hand them our phones and FaceTime their families. Those are the things that I absolutely love to do, to give that outreach, to be able to be part of something like that.
To give it of your time to that is got to be so it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of focus, but just to have one soldier or one person that's able to connect and feel like someone cares.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So
go ahead.
My question that I like to ask everybody is, who are your mentors? Who are the people that kind of helped you along the way? I mean, I know the people that that you mentioned are already there. Is there anybody else?
Honestly, in the McHenry area, I have to give a shout out to 2 huge people. Wayne Jett is the mayor of McHenry. He does a whole Rise Up Foundation because he likes to be able to raise money to bring things back into the city so he doesn't have to raise taxes. So I don't know if you both know about the Rise Up Festival, where he brings in large artists. We had Brad Paisley, we've had Dustin Lynch. We have a big, huge concert coming on in September. And so a lot of the funding of that money comes and all the extra goes to the city, bringing in splash pads. Last year, it was a $2.9 million project of an incubator project. We're on the Riverwalk. There's 10 tiny buildings. And businesses are changed in every year.
Is that where we did the Christmas Village yet? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So they're changed in every year, and a business can see if they actually can work. And this is their market. And it comes with incubator. And you learn how to run your business. You learn how to do your accounting and marketing. And my other mentor would be then Molly, the president of the McHenry Chamber. She has the most wonderful creative mind, and she can pull things together. So between Wayne and Molly, they really, really have such a great partnership with the city and everything. Those 2 are really big mentors for me. Otherwise, I'm going to say my Restoration One family.
Yeah.
I from the corporate aspect, Lance out in Colorado, he's an owner out there. we talk every single day. We have a lot of like just bouncing different ideas and everything like that. You know, like Carrie and Joe at the office and Josh, my operations manager, you know, those are like, honestly, you know, and then we got a good old Ragu here in SBA, like always be connecting. That guy is on the move. He gives you different ideas. He challenges you. There's so many wonderful people that are like in this area. We're all blessed, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say like hearing your story and kind of hearing all the different ways that you kind of branched out to, I think it's amazing. And Restoration One, I know you guys do. You have a tagline. It's like fire, smoke, mold. We do it all.
Yeah, fire, water, smoke, mold, biohazard, trauma. But if you need to clean a scene, you call Christine.
And that to me, like I would want I don't ever want to need you, but if I need you, I think it's great to get a company that has high integrity and that brings that to the table. Yes. And just hearing you talk about your past, talk about what you're doing with Restoration One and your passions, you exhibit that in every interaction. And it's really great to have you on the show, to be honest.
I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. You know, like I could say I'm one person, but honestly, it's the team of us. Every employee of it's just they're incredible people.
So if people need to get a hold of Restoration One or Christine, what's the best way to get a hold of you? How do we find you and engage with you guys?
Well, I always say call our main number because communication is everything. So it's 847-264-4664. You can find us on our website at www.restoration1.com /Carrie. Or you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we do blogs and newsletters.
I mean, that's a wide way to get a hold of you. So if you need something, there's no excuses. And what I found living it is that you don't care about this until you need it. And then you're stuck and you're trying to figure out who to call. So I highly encourage you to reach out, make friends on social media, figure out Restoration One's number, save it in as disaster, whatever you need to save it on. Because when you need it, you're going to want someone who you can trust. And Christine and the crew over there at Restoration One are definitely those people.
And we're also willing to come out if you think you might have something, but you're not sure. Education is free. We don't charge for estimates because that's what it needs to be at. Like I need to know what I'm up against and what I'm dealing with. Let us talk you through the process. This is what, don't do anything about it. This is what you need to do. And this is how much it's going to cost. So.
And for everybody out there, she already threatened you in 1 month. She's going to ask you about your home inventory. So you better get started right after you hear this.
That's correct.
Thank you very much, Christine.
Thanks, Christine.
Thanks for having me.
And again, this is episode 2. We had Christine from Restoration One. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.